good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well. Oh, today is Friday. Thank goodness, right? I'm glad it's Friday. But I'm 1 year older today, so we're going to talk about what I've learned in 56 years of life. Wow. I was born in 1969. So as I got older, it took me until history class to really learn what our country had gone through. Um, I now have a bigger and better appreciation for the Suffrage Act, civil rights. I have more of an appreciation for not having a corrupt administration that uses food and fear and propaganda and lies every day to control the population. I have a better appreciation for laws and rights that are now being stripped in our country. I now have a voice of saying to those who said, F your feelings, well, that's how I feel now. As truth comes out, as people are realizing what is actually going on. So I can say, F your feelings. Are you now becoming woke to the turmoil and the suffering of people because of this administration? Are you waking up? Do you realize that over 300,000 people have died because USAID was dismantled? And 75% of those numbers are children. Starvation and disease. Do you realize that the epidemics from measles and other diseases that have been controlled by vaccinations will now rise? And more people and children will die. Do you realize that the MAGA Republican Party of Congress is lying to you about who, why, and the true reasons the government is shut down? Are you coming to the realization that it's not the Democrat Party? I watched Speaker Mike Johnson, Little Johnson, and he says that the Democrats are keeping the government shut down. Number one, the Democrats do not hold the power of Congress. They do not hold the power of the Senate, and they do not hold the power of the executive branch. And if Democrats had the power to close down or reopen the government, there wouldn't be an issue. They want the Democrats to vote against the people. They want the Democrats to vote for a bill and parts of that bill that will hurt the people. You know, federal judges have already said use the emergency money for SNAP. Our president is appealing that and refusing to use it. What does that say to those who are MAGA? Because I know what it says to me. It says to me that he's trying to leverage food for our citizens to try to make the Democrats vote for bills that are against our people. That's what it says to me. But, you know, what does it say to you? I know that there are Republicans right now who are suffering and who will suffer more. We'll all suffer. But I know that there are people who are saying to themselves, and maybe not to their friends and family who are also MAGA, but they're saying to themselves, how am I going to afford this? The food pantry didn't have enough meat for me this week. The food pantry didn't have eggs this week or milk for the babies this week. They know that it's bad. But MAGA wants to convince these people that it's the Democrats' fault. And he said that he was going to dismantle and get rid of Democrat programs. If you look at these programs that he's talking about, you will see that they are for you, for me, for the people who work hard but can't make that extra money. See, I'm lucky. I don't have to pay rent. I don't have a mortgage. I do have to pay for repairs. I have to pay for my taxes. But that alleviates monthly bills in order for me to put some aside for those yearly bills or those repairs to this property. I couldn't make I couldn't make it if this was not a paid for and debt free environment here. I I wouldn't be able to make it. I took a job to pay the bills that come in every month, every 3 months, every year. I didn't get a job that would pay for rent or daycare or those other things that people have to pay for. I'm lucky that I can work a few days a week just to keep the bills paid. I'm lucky that way, but most people aren't. Young people, young couples, single mothers, single fathers, they work. They have to pay for daycare. They go to pantries for help a couple of times a month. and that is being cut. They don't have that added, what, 180 to $230 a month of SNAP just to help with groceries. But you should be okay with bailing out Argentina for $40 billion. So at 56 years old, I, with eyes wide open, can see this criminal king and regime do not care about the peasants, the people that work hard and still cannot make it, can't get ahead. There are ways to do things. There are people and gurus who can tell you how to live and save your money or use your money or be frugal and be able to put money aside, but they can't live your life. They can tell you that the reason you can't have nice things is because of immigrants or because of transgender people or because of the Democrats. I will have to say that you can't have nice things because your criminal king doesn't care if you have the nice things or not. He's only worried about his billionaire friends. And I can tell you that without any doubt. At 56 years old, I know that when I was super young and I had my makeup all perfect every morning before my husband got up, and I wore those tight jeans so that way I looked um, not sexy, but well, maybe sexy. I don't know. That's not important anymore. What's important is getting by and being able to get a leg up. And if you have privilege, be aware of that privilege and know that what you see in the streets with these bounty hunters shooting people, ripping people out of their cars, taking them away, detaining them, even if they're US citizens. Use your privilege when you are around those situations to make noise, to take videos, because all of these people will be held responsible. There are ways to find out who all of these people are in the end, and that's who were cut checks by Homeland Security and the ICE department. So if you're an ICE person and you've got your mask on, you still had to give your social security number, your name, and you're still paying taxes on that money, right? Your name can be found. Just like Elon Musk was trying to get in and did get in to find out who voted against Trump. And there was this thing where if you voted against Trump or if you're a Democrat, you're not going to get any benefits. Well, no one's getting the benefits that they talked about, a Doge check or a refund of money brought in by tariffs, which is absolutely crazy. The courts even said this is the most, it's not true. The people pay for the tariffs, their costs go up. Yesterday I watched, well, today, this morning, I was watching all of my news, And I saw Donald Trump once again speaking to people saying that prices are down and that medications will be 1,000, 1,500% lowered. He doesn't even know basic math. You can't go more than 100%. If you do, then you are getting paid to do those things. As a couponer, you know, if I save 120%, I'm getting money back. At 56 years old, I'm not going to allow white supremacist men to make me something that I will never be. I am a woman who made a decision to be independent. Yes, I'm married, but I've always had my own. Not because I don't trust him, but because I trust myself more. So at 56 years old, I am going to advise anyone younger than me to read some history, understand the truth of what's going on. Anybody my age or older, you should know better. You should know better than to trust a man like Donald Trump and the criminals that he has put into his cabinet and his offices and his programs and projects. Not only that, but y'all complained about Biden being demented and having elder abuse put upon him. What I see in the Oval Office is elder abuse if that's how we talk about it, because he simply doesn't know reality. He simply doesn't know his math. He lies, and then he falls asleep during the Oval Office presser while Dr. Oz talks about stupid stuff. That's elder abuse. But what it is they allow him to do his arts and crafts while they are in charge. And they are those that he has hired or who paid him off. Do you understand that? At 56 years old, I will never be fooled by the fools. Well, I need to go get some breakfast because I'm hungry. And then I've got to go to work. You all have a great day. Hugs from a distance. Happy Friday. Don't be fooled by the fools because that's what they're doing. Bye, y'all. Oh, and I'm a stiff 56-year-old too. Bye.